Hey y'all, it's Jessica from Sloppy Swatches. Today I have a look at the Chilling Adventures collection releasing on May 1st through the 5th from Femme Fatale Cosmetics. This collection is inspired by the insanely popular Netflix Sabrina series. These will be available only on their website the 1st through the 5th, so if you're interested, definitely reach out to your favorite stockist and let them know that you would love to see this collection. So these were sent to me for review, and I'll go ahead and get right into it, beginning with, I believe, what is my favorite and topic of the collection. No surprise here, it is a red polish. So this is Sabrina. It's described as a raspberry red jelly with juicy ruby microflakes, scattered holographic particles, and silver holographic micro glitter in various sizes. So here's a look at that first easy coat. This one is in a little bit of a jelly base to allow them to build up and make a really gorgeous depth. So this first coat is really just laying down a base. I'm going to go ahead and let that dry down and then show you how it built up for me with a second coat. So here is a look at that second coat with a thicker second coat. I was able to get this one completely opaque in just two. If you prefer thinner coats, you may want to go in for a third. This one, though, is bringing the coverage, which I'm really excited to see coming from Femme Fatale. So here is a look at that completed mani at just two coats before a glossy top coat underneath artificial lighting, and then really quickly from a different angle in direct sunlight with a top coat. Super, super stunning. Next up is Dark Baptism. I think this is going to be another towards the top of the collection for me as well. So this one is described as a solemn forest green jelly with a whisper of red to gold to green multichrome and a smattering of orange to green to blue iridescent flakes. So this one is, again, in a jelly base to allow all those flakies to build up and add a really nice depth. This one is, however, fairly sheer here with this first coat. So again, laying down the base, I'm going to go ahead and let that dry down and then show you how it builds up for me with a second coat. So here's a look at that second coat. You can see all those flakies get on the brush really, really well. I just had to be a little bit mindful of how I applied them and spread them out, making sure that I got them towards the tips, especially to help with that opacity. Two coats is still fairly sheer, so I am going to go ahead and go in for a third and final coat for today. Three coats puts this one right on the edge of being completely opaque. I can still make out my nail line, so when using this personally, I would use an undie. So here is a look at that completed mani. Three coats before a glossy top coat underneath artificial lighting, and then really quickly from a different angle in direct sunlight, and this polish is going to be such a shifter depending on the lighting source. Really, really gorgeous. So next up is the Book of the Beast. This is described as an alluring red-toned brown jelly base with a blend of turquoise blue shifting duochrome and green to purple shifting shimmer. So again, this one is supposed to be opaque in 3 to 4 coats. I'm going to go ahead and show you what it looks like at 3 today. So here's a look at that first easy coat. Super, super sheer, but nice and smooth coverage. I'm going to go ahead, complete this coat, let it dry down, and then show you how it built up for me with a second coat. So here's a look at that second coat. I will say the shimmers in this shade are really, really strong, and you don't have to be mindful at all of your brush strokes. I didn't have any issues with them coming through, especially after dry time. So here's a look at that third and final coat. 3 coats puts this one again on the edge of being completely opaque. If you wanted to go in with an undie, I'd really suggest a darker one to show off all of that shimmer and shifting. So here is a look at that completed mani at 3 coats before a glossy top coat underneath artificial lighting, and then really quickly with the bottle in direct sunlight with a glossy top coat. This is my final swatch photo at an angle again in that direct sunlight. So next up is Unseen Art. So this polish is described as a sheer whimsical teal jelly with pink to gold to green aurora shimmer and pale pink holographic glitter. So this one is quite sheer. So you may want to go in for an undie unless you don't mind visible nail lines. So here's a look at that first easy coat. You can already see that really gorgeous pink shimmer coming right through. I think this color combination is gorgeous, really delicate. However, I would definitely use this with an undie, probably a nice teal. So here's a look at that second coat. Again, tons of shimmer, tons of flakies, and that holographic, but not completely opaque, so I'm going to go ahead and go in for a third. 3 coats makes for nice coverage, however, a good flash of visible nail line. So here's a look at that completed mani at 3 coats before a glossy top coat underneath artificial lighting, and then really quickly in that direct sunlight, you can really see those nail lines there. This is my final swatch photo. So next up, I have Witches in the Woods, and this one is described as a dusty navy blue packed with chameleon chrome flakies that shift from green to blue to pink. So this is a blue to purple magnetic pigment and green to purple shimmer in there. There's also a smattering of deep emerald green. So this one is super, super intense. You would think that a magnetic polish wouldn't work so well with the flakies here. You can see even at one coat, I had a pretty awesome coverage. I think I let a little bit too much time pass before I applied the magnet to get a nice pull there. So I'm going to go ahead, just show you what it looks like after that first coat. Honestly, I recommend going in for that first coat, letting it dry down, and then going in for the second or third if you prefer, and then really kind of focus your magnet at that second coat. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what that looks like. This one is stunning. When I first watched it, I didn't even realize it was a magnetic polish because that's how awesome and bomb the formula is. I did speed up that magnet time a little bit, but here's a look at that completed mani before a glossy top coat. This one is going to dry down a little bit dull. Unfortunately, I did not get this one out in direct sunlight, but it's super shifty and galaxy-like. Completely in love with it. This is my second favorite pick. So that is my final swatch photo, and then we're going to move on to the last polish of the collection. This is called Weird Sisters. This is a thermal polish. So this one is described as a black when cold to clear when warm, thermal with scattered black glitters in various sizes, and luminous blue iridescent glitters. So this one is a little bit tricky. It was kind of feisty when I was applying it as well because my hands were super, super warm this day. So it was like I was applying this clear polish over and over again. But honestly, that color and payoff and the shift, thermal shift in this one, completely worth it. So here's a look at that second coat. 2 coats is going to add tons of those glitters onto the nail. This third coat is really where the magic is going to happen. I do recommend going in for 3 coats for this one. Do get the deepest black towards the tips when it's cold. So I'm going to go ahead and show you really quickly how it shifts. This is the natural shift on my nails while they were running a little bit warm, and then I'm going to show you how they react underneath the cold ice water. That is gorgeous to me. Super, super love it. I have not sped this clip at all, so you can watch as it warms up to my body temperature and how gorgeous it is with the black tips. I'm like obsessed with this one. And then really quickly in that cold again. And this is my final swatch photo with a little bit of thermal manipulation. So that does wrap up my swatch and review of the Chilling Adventures collection. Again, these will be available May 1st through the 5th over on the Femme Fatale Cosmetics website. I will leave that linked down below. If you'd like to see more, you can also follow me on Instagram at Sloppy Swatches. I have opted out of being on the PR list for Femme Fatale. I thought I'd go ahead and mention it here that you will not be seeing the future collections from me. My workload has just gotten kind of too much for me, so I'm taking a break. I do still love Femme Fatale cosmetic polishes, but I will unfortunately not be featuring them here anymore. I really appreciate you guys' support. Thank you so much. If you'd like, leave me a comment down below with your favorite polish, and I'll see you more next time.